Hello, and good morning if it's morning for you, afternoon if it's afternoon for you, and of course evening if you are on the other side of the pond. Hope you guys are doing good today. Happy Monday. Hope you don't mind, I'm just like throwing down a couple of snacks before class because I just feel like I need some more calories today, so we're going in. And also hydrating, don't forget, very important. Stay hydrated. Pre-hydrate before class, that's super important too. Yasna, hello. Hi, Holly. Hooray for snacks, yeah. We're going with my favorite, a Perfect Bar, very predictable. Still waiting for my sponsorship. Please, Perfect Bar, sponsor me. Sponsor me, please. Because I really rely on these adorable little bars to give me enough calories to do things. Pie! I don't know if you can see her. Nope. I can just see her, yep, there's her little ears poking out. I seriously think that she can sense like when class is about to start, because I always step into my space early and I prepare it and like vacuum a little bit and like turn on lights and like test everything, make sure everything's charged and ready to go. And she usually comes on like when she starts to hear me talk, like she'll start to like creep into the room. Oh my God, Holly, toot toot. I'm tooting your horn for you right now. Congrats. Finals are super stressful, and it's always such a release to be done with them, you know, and be like, time to relax. Hooray. Thanks, Yasna. Yes, they are good. I will let Pi know you say hello. Hi, Marie-Pierre. Okay, big shout out to Marie really quick. This past week, I tagged along with my husband on a work trip to Quebec City. It was amazing, and Marie was so sweet and showed me around her city. Thank you again for doing that. That was so amazing. I had such a good time, and it really did like reset my brain a little bit, made me feel really, really good. It was such an awesome time. Canada was great. It was my first time and I loved it. I loved the food. Everybody there was really sweet. The history, the city was really amazing. I honestly wish I could have spent a little more time, especially if I could have been able to, because I flew out of Montreal, and I wish I could have spent a little time there because it seems like it's a really cool city, but didn't have enough time. Yes, my love. Would you like to say hi? Pi would like to say hi. Come here. Hi, Pi. She says hello, everybody. Isn't she so beautiful? She's the most beautiful baby I've ever seen sometimes. Yes, poutine. You're like, I know I am in the land of poutine, but it's poutine time. Hi, Miriam. Another interesting thing I learned is about the differences in terms of French between French people and French Canadians. Very different. Go over there. Hi, G. She really does know Yasna. She really does. Hi, Malia. Good morning. Hello. So glad you're here. I'm just eating a little snack, swallowing the last bit, getting some extra hydration on top of it. So it is class time. Let's talk about, before we get going, what we're going to do today. Again, I chose balance to be our monthly theme for December because this is a time where I typically feel like a little bit out of balance, not in a bad way, just in a way where like I know I need to tip my own scales a little bit in order to meet my needs. I do also struggle a bit with my mental health during this time. So the balance striking that I'm always going for is usually in relation to my mental health. Anybody relate? Hello. Yeah, Miriam. Oh, yeah, the weird expressions. I feel like it's because French Canada is close to the United States, and I feel like there's a weird intersection of things that happen linguistically with that. So anyways, back to the matter at hand. We're working on balance because it's something that I am striving to create, especially during this season. And today we're going to work on a shape called Garudasana, or eagle pose. So that's its traditional name in Sanskrit in asana. It's a very compressive position. So there's a lot of like crossing of your arms. So if you are a person that is abundant in the front and your boobs might get a little bit in the way, and I'm gonna give you some options if that is you. Also, it requires kind of a similar amount of compression in the legs. So if you have bigger thighs, things like that, something that I really suggest having are some ways that we can use props to make these shapes accessible to you. So having blocks or something block-like is going to be really helpful. And if balance just overall is a challenge, I always recommend working close to a wall so that you can kind of have your hands on something and like catch yourself if you feel unstable. Also, important thing, if you ever feel like you're falling out of something, abandon ship, abandon the shape, right? Get out of there. Make sure you get out of your shape so that you don't fall and hurt yourself, because we don't want that to happen. Abundant in the front, lacking in the back end. Yeah, so you've got vroom in the front, but you ain't dragging a wagon. That's okay. That's okay, girl. We all build different. And I think that's, I think it's good. I think it's good to be different. Shall we do this thing, you guys? You ready to go? We'll swap over to the scenes. We'll kill the computer audio. And I'll put on some music for myself. Wow, Pi, holy shit. I need to give you guys a gander of this situation. Look at this absolute fucking cloud of an animal. Do you see this? I know it's a little bright and washed out, but she is hitting the sun. Oh my God, I grabbed your nipple like on the button. Sorry, baby. What was I saying? I was so distracted by kitty nipples. So again, picking some music that you vibe with. Hooray. Wow. What do you need? Having your blocks nearby, we're actually going to start with some openers like for the back body, for the hips, and do some abdominal stuff. So once you kind of have those things nearby, we'll get started. Let's start seated. Actually, I think that would be really good to start seated. I was listening to a podcast. We're not moving to a podcast, although I've been known to do that for myself. This pie is so very demanding today. Okay. Oh. Seated position. Kitties in position. And I want you to take a moment to ground through your sit bones. Take some deep breaths. And be with yourself in this space. I'm a very heady, cerebral person. And a lot of my mental health work is about bringing myself back into my body. Yeah. So sometimes a physical practice is one of the only ways I can bring myself back in. We'll take 3 more breaths here. All right. Let's let your hands migrate to a spot on your legs, somewhere where you feel like you can hang on, you can hold on a little bit. We're gonna go through seated cat-cows, one of my favorite ways to activate the spine. So we'll start by opening our chest to the front. So I want you to retract your shoulder blades, broaden the collarbones, and then do the opposite. Lean back on your tailbone, spread out the shoulder blades. So you're doing your protraction. The word almost left me. Inhale forwards, retract. And exhale, protract. One more just like that. Now hang out in this space with your big C-curve scoop through the spine. And I want you to start to roll the ribs to the right. Good, big circles here, chest to the front, ribs to the left, ribs to the back. Hello, Miss Pie. She's giving me the stare of death. All right, let's reverse. Three more to make it even on both sides for me. And when you make it all the way back to center, we'll take your hands to heart center. Interlace your fingers right away, yeah? Turn your palms so that they're facing the front of your space, and I want you to push your arms straight if you can. It doesn't have to be stick straight, but just elongated. Now bring that contracted shape back into the body, so C-shaped curve, and I want you to just wiggle a little bit through the ribs. To the left and right. Great. We'll make our way back towards center. Sit up all the way straight, turning those palms up towards the ceiling if your shoulders can manage that. And then we'll release them. Slow, 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 slow. Circle out your wrist the whole way down. Work through your articulation. When the hands make it to the ground, lean back so you can untangle your legs. And then we'll hang on to the backs of your knees. Point your toes. Bring in just the little tips of your toes onto the ground. And then we'll slowly start to roll back. Use your core. And when you make it down, hug both of your knees in and rock a little bit side to side. Yay, good morning. Oh my gosh. You can stay rocking just like this. You can start to circle your knees independent of each other as a unit. Just do some general ground spine work, whether that's going into your twists also. I'm gonna kind of give everybody free time, playtime, for the next 15 seconds or so. All right, finish up your final bits. And then we're gonna make our way back to our backs. And we're gonna do a little bit of a rude awakening for our core. I'm like apologizing ahead of time. I'm so sorry. I'm dreading it as much as you are. Okay, so we're gonna bring our legs into reverse tabletop position. And we're gonna bring our first element of eagle in from the jump. So I want you to separate your legs a little bit so you can cross right over left. We're crossing at the thigh. If crossing at the thighs doesn't work, cross at the shins, you'll be just fine, okay? Now, if you're familiar with eagle and you feel even comfortable locking your bottom foot, your right foot under the left, cool. Hands are gonna come behind your head. Elbows open up nice and wide. Now I want you to try to take your knees a little bit away from you and at the same time, smooshing your low back into the ground. So if your lumbar curve pops up, bring the knees a little bit closer. Make sense? Great. Take a breath in. With your exhale, lift up your head, neck, and shoulders. Excellent. So just a little crunch position. Lower down an inch, lift an inch. Use your exhales. Great, we're at 10. We have 10 more. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders down. Release your arms and bring the arms down by your side. You can also grab your mat. All right. I want you to pull the knees towards your chest and try to lift the hips up off the ground. All the while squeezing your inner thighs together, whether the shins are crossed or the thighs are crossed. Nicely done. I can't see you, but I can just feel the glares through the screen, honestly. Because it's starting to hurt for me too, and I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay. Feeling some sensations. Last 8. Last 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Final piece of the right side. Arms are going to reach up towards the ceiling. And just like we did with the legs, yeah, we're going to separate them. Notice my right is a little bit back, my left is a little bit forward. We're going to cross our arms, bend our elbows, and try to create eagle arms. If that's not a go for you, just touch your shoulders, all good. We're going to try to do 10 of a max open. So think about toes touching the ground in front of you, fingers touching the ground above you. Hopefully I'm not muffling the shit out of this microphone. So you're gonna separate everything and then bring everything in for a squeeze. We're gonna try to do 10. I know that's super shitty of me to ask of you right now. Let's go for it. Separate and squeeze. Use your breath. 4, 5. You got 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's hold it in on 1. Tiny little pulses in, pulses in. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Okay. Sick. Not too horrible, but definitely alarming. All right. Now, like I kind of alluded to earlier, that was one side. So let's just go to the other side, okay? We're gonna cross left over right. Everything's on fire. Great. So let's just add to the fire. Hands are behind your head. We're just starting with this standard crunch. You want that low spine on the ground, goddammit. If you don't do it, I'm gonna crawl through the screen like that girl from The Ring, all right? Take your breath in. Exhale, lift yourself up. Fucking A. Down an inch and up an inch. The only thing getting me through right now is that I'm listening to Queens of the Stone Age. No surprise there. Same music choices. All right, last 10. I'm sweating. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the head, neck, and shoulders. Take the arms by your side. Grip your mat. Hold on for dear life. We're going for our little hip lifts. Ooh, we're squeezing everything in. Yeah, we're not even touching the ground. We're being nice on this one. You could just get to stare at the ceiling and disassociate. It's great. A little bit of disassociation time. You earned it. Holy shit. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it right there. I know all you want to do is unlock your goddamn legs, but you're going to reach your arms up towards the sky, okay? We're going to do our crissy-crossy. Left arm is further back. Right arm is further forward. You're going to cross them and lock them. You can also grab for your shoulders. I don't care. Once we're in, we're going for our full extension. So we're opening everything up and squeezing everything in. Hopefully you can hear me and I'm not, again, squashing the microphone. You open all the way up, close it all the way in. We're going for 10. Let's go. Good, this is the worst part. 5, 4, 3, 2, sorry, hold it in, tiny little pulses in. Nice, nice, got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Breathe into your bellies. Sheesh. Just take your legs wide. Fill up your tummies like big balloons. And then we'll start to rock and roll. Let's get out of here. I want off the ground. That was traumatizing. All right. And then we're going to make our way all the way through tabletop. Again, going to give you a little bit of time in tabletop to move, stretch your spine. Wow, it feels really good to do cow pose because it's a nice abdominal stretch. Big suggest from TL. Again, 5 seconds or so. And then we're going to head into our first downward facing dog. All right, final 5. And here's how I want you to transition into that downward facing dog. Think about high plank as your blueprint. Yeah? Step it back. Think long through the tailbone and engage through the legs. Breath in. And with your exhale, undo that length in the tailbone. And let the tailbone seek the sky. Pedal out the legs, shift through the shoulders, and explore your range of motion within this shape. Great, we'll find one last breath of movement here, and then settle into stillness. Refine your position once you find stillness. The things that you are seeking to create. I'm going to start off by saying to release the expectation of your heels touching the ground. It's going to free up everything else. Think about length through the spinal column. Neutrality in the pelvis, almost like you're trying to create anterior tilt. That's going to help you think about extending the sit bone skywards. External rotation through your arms. So think about that spiral through the shoulders so that they can separate and give space between the shoulders and ears. Good. Maybe that stillness gets punctuated by a moment of shaking your head a little no and letting the cervical spine lengthen in that moment. One breath in, lift up your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, look to the front of your space, and then travel there, meeting in a forward fold, standing position. Feet can be wide. I suggest it on the first one, okay? Once you give a little bit of a bend into your knees, let's roll ourselves up to standing. Good. Once you make it up, let's lift shoulders and roll them up, down, and back behind you. Nice. Maybe you just stick with the shoulders. Maybe the arms want to get involved if you have the space. I know not everybody has the space to swing some arms. Well, let's get these shoulders moving. We'll take them up, back, and around and behind. Now you can just grab around your wrist, like so, yeah? Or if you're able to, capture the fingertips and see if you can bring the palms together. Your hands, or not your hands, but your arms can stay bent like this if the shoulders are tight, but do try to get some length. I'm flussing my butt just for you right here, giving myself a little credit card treatment, right? Now we'll lift through our chest, either with bent or straight arms, and we're gonna go into a forward fold. So hinge from your hips, take the arms with you, and work in this inversion. Oh, it's a good one. We'll bend your left knee, open the chest over to the right-hand side. Shoulder does not have to touch thigh. If it's far away, it's all good. You're still creating this open twist. Great, let's switch, other side. Right shoulder down, looking over towards the left. Great, we'll bring it back to center. Bend your elbows, release your hands down. And we're gonna step back into high plank with the potential to bring your left knee down because we're going to go into side plank, modified or not. Right arm reaches up, okay? Now we're going to do a Pilates move here, okay? The right arm is going to wrap and kind of point behind you underneath your torso. It's called wrap and roll. Inhale, you reach up. Exhale, you wrap and roll. Let's just do 5 each side. Yeah? If you're up in your plank, I want you to keep the feet in one spot. This is meant to target this low oblique area. That's what we're going for, yeah? Even if you're in the modified version, think about the pelvis pushing forward, and as you turn, there's engagement through those low abs. Good. Maybe you finish your last one just now. Let's do the other side. So come back, either through your high plank or onto all fours even, and then open up to the other side. Prepping for your wrap and roll. Pelvis, hips, everything stays in one spot. Wrap underneath you. You should feel it right in here, right in those deep little guts. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze, yeah? Clearly, it's going to be more intense up on the arms. Final 3. Final 2. Final 1. Take it back onto all fours or to your plank. Inhale, breath. Exhale back into downward facing dog. Nicely done. Let's go through some Surya Namaskar A's. Salute the sun. Heels lift up high, breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, look forward. Inhale to the top of your mat and into halfway lift. Yeah? Exhale, forward fold. Really try to wrap up and curl there. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing. Arms are reaching up. This is your Utthita Hasta in Tadasana. Exhale, Samastitihi, either arms by side or at heart center. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, plant hands, step back into your high plank. Let's introduce chaturangas if you're wanting. Knees can lower, elbows can bend, any amount. This can be as far as your chaturanga goes, or you try to seek 90 degrees. Low cobra, or your upward facing dog. I know sometimes I give too many options, but I'd rather have too much than too little. We all meet back in downward facing dog for a 3-breath reset. Great, always refining the down dog. You are an analog radio. Keep dialing in those little buttons. All right, let's get ready to move. Breath in, heels high. Exhale, knees bend. Inhale to the front of the mat, any way you want to get there, hopping, stepping, floating, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, arms by side body or at heart center. Use your breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Great, half lifts and chaturangas. Maybe from here you work from your plank. Urdhva Mukha, Adho Mukha. 3-breath reset. Good. We got one more round like this one, and then we're going to change the rules a little bit. Heels nice and high. Knees bend to the top of your mat. Half lifts and folds. Inhale, rise up to standing, Utthita Hasta. Exhale, arms by side. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lifts and chatas your way. If you want to start to add in things like jump backs, My only request is that you land with bent elbows, yeah? Downward facing dog. One last breath reset before we make our way back to the top. Heels nice and high, bend your knees. Travel halfway. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up to standing. And when you bring your arms back by your side body, I'm going to have you lift your left leg, just like you're stepping up on a box. My favorite modification, if just lifting your leg is difficult, keep a block at the front. Place your foot on the block. Work with the shape, yeah? Work with your body. All right, so wherever you are, I want you to pay very close attention to what your right leg is doing. I'm not a big fan of locking out joints and everything. What I am a big fan of is feeling buoyancy, like I'm not dumping my weight down, like I'm trying to lift. I know it's kind of nuanced. Dancers will kind of understand the feeling, the sensation, right? So I want you to feel that sense of buoyancy, like you're lifted up and out of the ankle joint, up and out of the knee joint, up and out of the hip joint. Bring both of your arms up and keep the ribs pulled in. Yeah? Tendency, we lift our arms, we start to open up our chest. We're here for 3. Great, great, great. We're here for 2. On your last one, we're going to step our left foot to the back of our mat and land in a low lunge. Pie is back. The cloud girl on the ground. Take a little stretch in your hip flexor. And then take a stretch in your hamstring. Pull back. Great. Bring a bend back into your front leg. Push into the ground. And let's get rid of this right leg. You can use it to go through Ekapada Chaturanga. You can just step it back. You can totally omit Chaturangas and just meet us in down dog. 3 breaths again. Great. Last breath. Let's lift heels, bend knees, and travel again. Halfway lift. And fold. Let's rise up to standing. And when the arms make their way back by your side, now the right leg is lifted. Same tip. Foot can go onto a block. But do feel like you're lifting up and out of the joints again. You're going to feel this a lot in the arch of the foot because all of these feelings of lift start from our foundations, yeah? If you have flat feet, you're going to be like, what the fuck? All right, let's go arms up. Great, ribs are in, last 3. Last 2. And let's take a big step back. Yo, the balance, not good today, but we're working on it. We're getting our legs ready. Hip flexor stretch first. And then we go into our hamstring stretch. All right, let's bring it back into your lunge so that you can step the left foot back, go through your standard chaturanga, or bring in your single-legged. Upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. All right, just a couple little things before we take a break. Reset with those 3 breaths. Last one. Now we initiate with the right leg. I want you to lift up your right leg. Give the hip a little opening, A, because it feels good, B, because why not? No rules. Now square it off, lengthen it out, And take knee to nose, step through low lunge. Basically inversing what we just did. Dip the hip down and then stretch out the hamstring. Bring a bend back into your front knee, and I want you to step your left foot forward. Show me halfway lift. Show me your fold. Rise up to standing. And then bring the arms by your side body. Balance on your right foot, pick up the left leg. Just this knee, it's gonna lift up, up. Now, I know everybody's all about like stretching the hip flexor and only doing that. But sometimes our hip flexors are also kind of weak. So we're training these hip flexors, yeah? All right, changing up the intention a little bit. Think lift up and over to the left, lift up and over to the right. I have my block right here, and it's kind of a nice invisible pretend obstacle course. Last 3. Holy shit, my hip flexors are burning. Last 2. Nice. Last 1. Cross it all the way up and over. Listen, you're going to step that left foot to the outside of the right. Your legs are crisscrossed. Take a fold. Give your hip flexor a bit of a different stretch, huh? Or your hamstring, sorry. I was all on hip flexor mode there for a second. Great, we'll bend into your left knee. Get really sassy through the right hip. Walk your hands over to the left. Hey, Pi. Love you. Thanks for supporting. All right, let's bring it back to center. Uncross your legs. And dealer's choice on how to get back. If you're ready to start introducing some more advanced things, you can start to play with arm balances like crow. The other week we even did frog, flying frog. So any of those things are available to you, yeah? Pie, danger zone, bro. I was like, I'm just gonna see if I can press up from crow. Still got it. Yeah. All right. We're meeting back in down dog before we do the other side. Couple breath reset. And we're starting with the left-hand side. Lift the leg. Open the hip, get some space in there. And then we'll square everything off. Knee to nose, step it through low lunge. Hip flexor dip. Hamstring stretch. Now I'm very self-conscious of when I'm saying hip flexor and when I'm saying hamstring. All right, bring it back into a bend. Step the right foot forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to standing. Bring your arms by your side body, lift up the right leg. A little lift. Up, up. Hip flexor palooza. I wanted to bring this in because I did see in our Discord, I threw in this thing last week where we're in a half split and you lift your straight leg. And they were like, holy shit, why is it so hard to lift my damn leg? It's a lot of things. But little shit like this will help. 3, 2, and 1. Take it a little over to the right, up and over a little bit to the left. Right? Range of motion in the hips. Very dynamic joint in your body. It can do a lot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cross it over, cross your legs, forward fold. All right, I want you to bend into your right knee. Keep the left leg long. Walk the hands over to the right. That's for your outer hip. Good, you guys are almost there. Walk it back to center, uncross the legs. Same thing, up to you how you want to get back. Make it as simple or as difficult as you want. I offered up crows, flying frog, crow press into handstand if you're really feeling frisky today. Or you can just be like, that's cool, Tracy. You do all that crazy shit. I'll be over here chilling. All right. Once you're back in your down dog, let's walk it back. Let's go into Malasana as our reset. If you're like me, I'm really good at drinking water in Malasana. Drink water in your Malasana if you want. Get the hips nice and open. We're going to go through our final pieces of the flow. We're going to start to bring in the eagle arms. We're going to start to bring in the eagle legs. I almost said eagle eggs. Eagle legs from a standing position, okay? So again, walls, blocks, all those things are going to be available to you. Let's take 2 more breaths. Two more kitty spanks. All right, my babies. Let's head back into downward facing dog and let's finish this shit strong. We're on our last 15 minutes of class total, and that includes stretching and chilling, so we got shit to do. Work out of your Malasana, coming back into downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Again, hip opens. If you want to, drop it back behind you. Open up the chest. Reach. Nice. Let's bring it back around. Knee to nose. Step through low lunge. Give it a hip dip. Give it a stretch. Let's bring it back into our lunge, but prepare to come up into high lunge. So you're stacking your shoulders up above your hips. Notice I'm not like super deep. I'm not super stepped back. I try to keep it pretty conservative here so that I can actually be balanced. Things that'll help your balance: stepping wider, stepping closer, or a combination of those two things. All right, arms are going to reach forward in front of you. Separate them by lowering your right arm and lifting up your left. Cross them and either grab for your shoulders or work for your full eagle bind. Fingers touching palms. Now we open up our shoulders here by trying to lift the elbows up and off of our chest. Yeah? I want you to lean forward and then pull the elbows in towards your belly button. Again, lift up. Exhale, pull it in. Let's do 3 more just like that. I like that. Last one. Take it back up. Let's work into a little back bend. Wow. And then come back forwards, release the arms, and adjust into a warrior 2. Flip right palm, reverse warrior. Exhale, side angle, either modified with elbow on thigh, or your full extension with hand on the ground, left arm reaching. Nice. Take your breath in. Exhale, let's bring it back up into your warrior two. Reverse triangle. Straighten your front leg, reach the right arm up and back. And with your exhale, let's bring it all the way down to your low lunge. Square off on your back foot, rebend into your front knee. Step left foot forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good, rise up to standing. Lift up your left leg. Oh shit, we're bringing it all into practice. Listen, bend into your right knee a little bit, almost like you're going into chair pose. Pick up the left leg and wrap it over the right. Cross your thighs. Maybe the foot hooks around the back of your left leg. But if you do that and your knees turn to the right, adjust so that they're trying to kind of be angled forwards, right? Clearly, my left thigh is going to be at this angle towards the corner of my mat, but we're not wanting the body to twist, if that makes sense. Okay? Now I want you to sit into this shape. Crucial. That's going to help you feel a little more balanced, right? If you're unsure of taking the foot, know that this foot, the left one, is really close to the ground. You can just touch it back there. Okay? Now take your hands towards heart center. Stay with me. Sit deep. And then think about your spine up against the wall behind you for 3. Good, for 2. And 1. Undo your eagle legs. Big step to the back. Nice. High to mid plank. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. No time to waste. Left leg lifts. Hip opens. If you want to go for it, drop it behind you and open up your chest. Whee! Great, let's bring it back around. Knee towards your nose, step through low lunge. Open up your chest. Open up the hip flexor. And then stretch out the hamstring. Good, rebend into your front knee. Let's make our way up into our high lunge position. You guys are so close. All right, now once you feel like you've got your good balance, I like to feel like I'm on skis, yeah? We're not trying to be on one line. We're on skis. Arms reach forward in front of you. Right arm higher than the left. Cross, touch shoulders, or full wrap. Now elevate your shoulders. Sorry if the microphone gets stuffed. And then lean forward, pull the elbows in towards your navel. Very good, lift it up. And pull it in. You got 3 more. Last 2. Work, little leggies, work. Your last one gets coupled with a wee bit of a back bend. So I like to lift up, lead with those fingertips. And then bring it back, release, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle, modified, or full extension. Breath in. Exhale, bring it up into your 2. Reverse Trikonasana. Lengthen out through your left leg. And let's bring it all the way back into your lunge. Nice. Right foot steps forward. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to standing. Arms by side body, right leg lifts. Right leg up. Bend into your left leg. Pick up the right, cross it up and over, and find your eagle leg that you were doing on the other side. Now again, your foot can be close to the ground here. It can restabilize you. The wall can restabilize you. You can wrap the foot around the back, but do try to make sure that your center line, just think pubic bone is your center, wants to be facing forwards. Now sit into that shit and try to stack your spine. Yeah? It's like a wall sit from hell. Your girl is sweating. We've got 5. Last 2. And we'll bring it back up. Big step to the back. Get out of there the same way you did last time. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. Now let's take a malasana at the front. Again, one last reset before we try our full eagle position here. All right, my loves. Let's come up to standing. And let's go through this, right? I want to give you a couple of options of how to do this eagle pose. You know how I mentioned that it's kind of like a wall sit from hell? You can totally take this on the wall if you want. I want you to feel secure and make sure you don't feel like your bottom foot is going to slip out from under you. But it's a really good tool for trying to work your upright position. Now, the standing leg, the knee will be beyond your ankle joint, right? So you can work your eagle like this on the wall. It's great, right? If you want to work it in the middle of the room, pick up, cross over. Whatever leg is on top, so this is my right leg that's on top, opposite arm is going to be on the bottom, right? We're going to try to go for a 10-second hold, so pick whichever one you want to do, and we're in. Good, approaching your final 3 seconds. As you approach these final 3, maybe you want to work your contraction 1 time, bringing it back up, and release, come up to standing. That left side though. All right. Let's do the other side, whichever side you didn't do. All right, again, on the wall or standing in the middle, we got 10 seconds. Sit into it. Last 3. Maybe you start to work your final contraction with me. Back up and release. Nicely done, everybody. Holy smokes. My legs feel tapped. Take a couple breaths in standing with hands at heart, resetting. It's a lot of compressive work, yeah. A lot of heating at our center. In Hinduism, Garuda is like a bird deity, a representative of the sun. And man, does this shape ever make me feel like I'm standing on the face of the sun? Everything is like heating up within my body. It feels amazing. Oh. All right, loves. Once you've reset your energy, reset your center a bit, we're going to come down to our seats and we'll finish class with some last stretches. I want to do seated figure 4 really quick. So lean back, hook right ankle onto left thigh, and lift yourself up here. By lifting, I mean spinal. So spinal elongation, opening up the heart, opening up the chest. Know that you can walk really close to your heel, but I do need your spine to be able to stay long. So this is if you're got a little more hip flexibility on you. Excuse me. One last breath. And then we'll switch. Left ankle on right thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, opening up your hip. Oh, wow, left side. Left side is mean today. We'll do one last breath. And we'll work our way out of this. Supporting the backs of your thighs as you roll down. Once you make it down onto your backs, soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Let your hips open, the limbs relax, the earth support you and catch you. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And as you close on that final breath, starting to let your limbs stretch away from you. If there's any things that I miss that your body needs, please take those things. But if you feel ready, our final position, Shavasana. No forced breath pattern here, my loves. We'll take our last 10 breaths here. And as you take your final breaths here, maybe you let your hands migrate onto your body. Maybe they even wrap around you. I'm incredibly grateful to teach you all. Take a moment to thank yourself for stepping into this space. You guys did so amazing. Balance. I hope you feel more balanced, more aware of your balance. Take your time getting up. There's really no rush. Yes. I feel so much better. Yes. You're so welcome. I love giving you some punishment afterward, Guy. I feel like that's the best also. You go to work, there's probably a large part of you that is like, I just want to be snug as a bug in a rug and not do shit. But then you do something and you're like, I feel so much better. Of your days or evenings or afternoons, we will have our beginners class this Thursday, same time, so 10 a.m. for my Pacific Coast people, 1 p.m. for my East Coasters, and then on Friday we're doing our slow flow, but we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to be doing like a traditional asana skeleton, but we're going to be adding on elements of fusion dance with it. So movement within shapes, that'll be a little bit challenging for the muscles, right? Because some of this will feel a little bit new to some of us, but it's going to be like a flow within a flow, and it's going to be very slow. Oh, wonderful, Miriam. Yay, big yawn. Isn't that nice when your body's like, thanks, I'm going to grab a bunch of oxygen now. Oh, thank you, Marie. Yes. Bon chance on your finals tomorrow. Yay, Yasna. Cranky. Now we're better. Isn't that nice? And we gotta just work out the cranks, you know? Don't forget, do some extra hydration after class. Always helpful, especially when you get a little sweaty. I'll do a little type in here about class Thursday. And these other classes are for Patreon. So if you're not on there with us, join us if you can, or if you just want to do a little drop in. That's all good with me. And both of those are on Zoom. That way I can stream music. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I'll put the link in there too, just in case. Just in case. And feel free to always reach out if you have questions about anything. I'm always here for you guys. Always, as much as I can. All right, my darlings. If there's no other questions, we'll get on with our afternoon. I'm just finishing and editing a new class to upload onto YouTube. That'll be for everybody, so that'll be great. Yeah. I adore you all. Love you all. And hope to see you again this week. If not, then next Monday. Same channel, same place. And we'll continue to work on our balance. Great job, you guys. I'll see you next time.